Okay, and welcome back. We left off last time in Field of Glory Empires, where we're just about to get the three main provinces of what many people would call Italy, or at least continental Italy, into our nation as Rome. Let's press the end turn and see how the boy handle two Roman legions coming from them. Okay, we have an advantage here. We're the attacker, they're the defender. They've got a good defender, we got a good attacker. So this is not necessarily going to be a good fight for anyone. Ranged phase rounds out. Battle ended in a draw. They did lose one person. Our reinforcements have arrived. Not that that's necessarily changing anything. Battle ended in a draw. Battle ended in a draw for the third time. See that their entire front line at this point is exhausted. Battle still ends in a draw. Battle ends in a draw again. Seven v one. Oh, I think it finally turned in our favor. Yeah, pursuit. They've got nowhere to retreat to, so that is victory. After a hard-fought battle, the boy are down. Well, multiple hard-fought battles in that terms, right? Yep, that unites what's left of Cisalpine under our rule. And we got so many roads to build. And apparently some somewhat damaged legions as well. Okay, the other one that we're not moving. Public Works. We probably do want to fortify the frontier, so please build some Roman camps as well. Down south, how does the road situation look? You're ready to receive your road upgrade, so we'll send this guy down to do that. Street polar is not bad there. School's not bad. Okay, how many combat losses did we take, and do we need to replace them? You didn't take any... Well, didn't take any of the important units lost. You lost one legionnaire. Okay, so we actually got out of there pretty minimal in the damage. Okay, so that being the case, we probably want to generate more people down here rather than more money. We don't need quite so much money anymore. One thing to note is the culture job also provides some loyalty. So for example, I just put those guys on loyalty, and we're now getting, I think that might be classed as welfare. No, it can't be welfare, because that would be, we don't know exactly where it's adding, but you can see when I move them back and forth. There we got 72, there we got 76. Maybe it's welfare. Have 9 welfare then? Yeah, okay, it's welfare. So they apply welfare. So that solved all the loyalty issues in the area for the moment. We don't quite need more money. Well, presumably make money with money buildings is probably the way we want to do it, right? At this point. We got enough to build both those buildings in one turn, so actually all these guys want to go into food. To make more people, so we have more things to build. Also, so we have more people to serve in the army. Do I need this many people working to get this done in time? About, yes. Okay. And then up here on the frontier, it's only getting people out of the farms to work in the proverbial Roman factories, yes. The stables wouldn't be too bad. The other one we just took over. Tavern wouldn't be too bad either. Let's grab that as well. And yeah, we have a lot of these places up here could use roads and forts of various types, so that's what we'll be working on. We have peace with our two neighbors, the Ravetti and the Aduini. We should remember these guys. These guys were in Never Second in Rome. These guys were Never Second in Rome. Well, the Belgae, the Never Second in Rome had multiple guys into the Belgae, so there's actually multiple guys of Belgae tribes, but I don't actually remember them all. But yeah, we remember this name. Yeah, 258 is about the money we want coming in, I think. We might technically want a little bit more right now while we're doing a lot of building up the front of the main armies. Build harbors. We don't have a harbor there, so build a harbor there. No colonies to bolster. No barbarians to federate. So let's cycle the turn and see where we are. I just missed the check mark. Which is not the right one. Okay. That's the end turn. The Glorious Republic of Rome. Our culture to decadence ratio is a little lower than I'd like. I think we're at the time where we want to go up to tier 3. So it's time to start raising our culture production again. Develop infrastructure. Yeah, we'll pay the money to make that a thing. We'll do the cheap one here that provides trade acumen. We're not quite willing to splurge for the trade range. Especially temporary trade range. Smokehouse or Fortune Teller? Fortune Teller will give us some loyalty. I think we'll Smokehouse though. Worship place, blacksmith. Blacksmith has a little bit of money. That's actually not too much of a problem. Yeah, building towards regional roads wouldn't be a problem. Not be a mistake, I think. Umbria here. Umbria apparently needs more loyalty. Okay. Well, upgrading the gambling site to provide more loyalty is one way to get more loyalty. I'll also get some more culture that way. Temporary solution. Oh, I did it the wrong way around. We're supposed to... that's what I wanted to do. Okay. Everything will finish in a turn, except for the gambling house. Okay. So work one of these guys over onto production then. Is that enough for gambling? It is going to be divided by 3, so how much are we short? So that's 75 out of 140. So 65 times 3, we need like 180 something. More production to get that done this turn. Which is something we can probably do, as I'm probably promptly demonstrating. How much more are we short? $128, so we're 12 times 3, so about 36 short. Yeah, there we go. So if I did my math right, and I did my math right, Gambling Arena will finish next turn. Could do theater. Not opposed to doing theater. Yeah, let's get some more culture with the theater. Atria here. How many industry or infrastructure buildings do we have? We have 5. Don't really want the charcoal pile to be one of them. Yeah, and probably want to do like brickworks or builder hall. If we're going to do another infrastructure building. Don't need the farm here. Though it wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea to build a farm, especially if we can do M4 Fabricator later. And the farm does have upgrades, so it might be worth doing the farm. Or we can do Oration Tribune here. Let's do Oration Tribune. We do want to raise our culture to decadence ratio. Anchorage is not a bad idea. Okay. And then Cisalpine region. This is probably the place where we need the most of the stuff. Farm's not a bad idea. Salt House is even better, so we'll do the Salt House. Okay, legions. Rome camp's not a bad idea. Rome camp's not a bad idea. You've already built a Roma camp, so go ahead and build a public works. It's probably not worth... Well, actually, this is right on the border right now. It probably might actually be worth here building lines. I think you're to add to this group. Interesting. I thought we were building 2 units. Did the second unit not build in time? Or did something not click right? Something might have not clicked right. Okay. Build an ally as well. Go attach to that unit. Yeah, and there's no Federate or Bolster Colonies worth doing. So right now we got no regional decisions worth clicking on. And I think we already said, yeah, we already picked a choice there. How overkill have I done these constructions? You need 15, you got 127 already stockpiled for it. You need 60, you have 328 stockpiled for it. Okay, so we got 143 surplus construction right now. Okay, now that's 73 surplus construction. 18. Okay, so if I go another one, we won't have enough surplus. That's fine. I do have some expensive things coming in this turn, so actually let's not put that on food. Let's put that on money. Clannis has a loyalty problem, so we'll actually do Clannis on culture, you on production. Is that still the right balance? Actually a little overcommitted, so I could take a little bit more off. So now we're short. How short are we? 6. We're 6 short. Yep. Those buildings will finish this turn. Those buildings will finish this turn. And we'll see where we end up culture-wise. I might, instead of trying to grow the population, we might just try to go more culture and get into the third era, or the third government tier. Okay, we moved up 8 steps. We're not quite there yet to be in the progressing tier, and we'd like to be in the progressing tier at this point. Proposal per transaction. What are you transacting? Okay, at least this time you're gonna give me something. I don't want what you're giving me. So, no. Oh, we don't have enough money. So we spent a little bit too much money last turn. That's fine. We are making a decent amount of money. Could go more culture. Thinking that's what we're gonna go. Yeah, it's culture or money, I think. So it's either the blacksmith or the theater. The theater will give me access to the remaining tier 3 buildings here, so let's go theater. Oh, the remaining tier 3 culture buildings. Let's do the preceptor house here. We're trying to raise our culture to decadence ratio, so things that lower the decadence will help. Physician house, that does promote into hospital. And we probably do want a great hospital somewhere, so building one of these is not a bad idea. So yeah, let's go with that. Don't need you on food. Could upgrade the training camp to a barracks. Which is pretty much not a bad idea. So let's just do that. Could do the racing track here. Good way to get a bunch of loyalty. And this is a big city, so this is a place where we probably want loyalty. Alright, we're sitting at 91 loyalty. We're getting like minus 79, 78 from the population right now. We're still growing this population too. Yeah, we'll build the racing track here. I don't think we need... I won't need any other loyalty buildings for a while. We build the racing track. No, monuments, a no-brainer. We're trying to raise culture to decadence ratio. Lots of good choices. It's a good place to be, having lots of good choices. But lots of good choices. I think we're going to go smokehouse here for the health food. And a little bit of trading if there's no local cows. Public loyalty bonus, always nice, especially going into Tier 3 Rome. Okay, so you want to continue... do I splurge? I don't think we have the money right now to splurge, so Public Works. We don't have the money to splurge, so instead you're going to move to there. And we don't have the money for you to splurge. Okay, about the roads south of the river, north of the river we don't, so we want you to move there. And to be fair, I think both those places would benefit from Roman camps as well. Okay. Let's cycle the turn. We'll see if we move up or down the culture to decadence ratio. It is competitive, so us moving down might not be that our culture decadence ratio didn't improve. It might just be that other people's improved faster than ours. Okay, we were rock steady, so improvement was the same relative to everyone else. You can see everyone else is moving around. Like, Sparta went up 11 points. Dacia is proposing a trade deal. What's her clauses? You give me metal, I give you the ability to recruit some troops. Sure. You give me metal and money, I give you the ability to recruit some troops. Sure. Port upgrade. Not a bad choice. Umbria here now has access to Tier 3 culture buildings. And this would be expensive to operate, but it would make a decent amount of money. Or a decent amount of culture. And provides a loyalty bonus, which means we wouldn't necessarily be desperate to have those guys on making loyalty anymore. Yeah, we'll go that way. That's going to cost a little bit of money, but that's probably fine. Okay, one way to make more money if we don't need construction points, and apparently we need some construction points, so we're not going to bother doing it here because Basilica is apparently expensive. Or at least expensive in a construction perspective. One thing I could do there was we could swap guys over to making culture instead of money, or culture instead of industry. Preceptor house, that's nice. Public baths would be more health. We don't necessarily need more health. Builder hole wouldn't be that bad. Let's bring us up to 5 tree buildings. or wax workshop? Oh, that would give us a culture from a different place. Okay. Yeah, let's go culture from a different place. Preceptor house? Yeah. Loyalty bonus, money bonus, yeah. Visions House is probably the most expensive thing here. Maybe screw something up and screw the math up and the Physician House didn't finish last time. I'm not sure. Actually, in hindsight, we probably do want all the money we're making, so let's not lower our money production right way. At least not the way I was thinking of doing it. Public Works. This place is a little bit out of position, so we will build the limes here. That's our 850 treasury, so we're going to have 500 something next turn. Okay, looks like we're still going to have everything finished roughly on time if I just take all the citizens off of... Okay, we're a little off if we're not for the Physician House there. Just a little off. There we go. That maxes our money income, so we're getting 800 money. So basically where we were before, we queued up the construction with our troops. Our regional capital could probably use a bunch of loyalties. Oration Tribune here is not a bad idea. An Oration Tribune, yeah. Spring Diversion. Oration Tribune. Sweet Poller. How bad is the loyalty here? Minus 40 from Just Conquered, okay. That's going to drop to a lower one. It's not going to completely disappear, but that's definitely not something to rush. Let's drain that swamp. And we got 5 production that we can... 5 food we can take off. Take 3 off, get a little bit more production that way. And yeah, we have construction orders queued up. Perform the Public Works. Here's my alley. Oh, I must queue him in the wrong province. That makes sense. We'll go send him up to the front anyway. Granted, we're not at war with anyone. One I'm most tempted to go to war with, I think, is the Aduini here. And push into Gallia. Though at the same time, we could go the other way and go down into Greece. Greece is pretty populous. Bit of the Balkans isn't necessarily the best place, but between the Balkans and there is pretty decent. Okay, moved up 1 tier, so we could definitely do with some more culture. Long and arduous negotiations. We have secured a trade deal. Secured a trade deal. Okay, we've been called to war with the Quante against the Quante. We'll wait a bit. We got a couple turns before we have to make that decision. So we're at war with these guys. We might as well declare war on the guys between us and them. That we will want to build some Roman camps here to protect these places from falling after we leave. And Cis Alpine goal has stabilized enough that we can now get everyone at least on industry. More loyalty here would not be amiss. Yeah. More culture. So yeah, we'll declare war on these guys. We should be in position to actually launch an attack on the next turn. What do I want to do here? That's definitely not the industry building I want to do. Probably street polar. Okay. Well, we probably have excess production for the turn. Yeah, so you need like 31. You literally don't need any. Okay. So we could definitely reduce our industry production to up the culture production for the turn. Oops, that's money, not culture. Okay, maximized culture. If I continue to want to maximize, well, minimize our wastage of extra infrastructure points, it's making more food at this point. Oops. Overcommitted just a bit. You need to make some, otherwise this won't complete. There we go. You like that map. Exactly. And to be fair, I think that's enough that we're going to get population in various places, right? You're 6, 3, 3, 1. Yeah, so we're going to get one person there, which will open up a building slot, so that'll be probably what we're building next turn. Yeah, that'll probably be the building slot we build next turn. Okay. And if it's less than like 195 infrastructure points, it probably won't even necessarily cost anything. Okay, so we're gonna upgrade the physician house to a hospital. That's probably not worth doing right now. If we have like naphtha or glass, then we get some culture. We do want to do this eventually somewhere because we do want to eventually pull the Great Hospital, but minus 28 gold for apparently no health? Like 6 health, okay. It's like a 6 health swing. Candle shop provides culture. Candle shop wouldn't be that bad. Let's do the candle shop. We don't need the noble gardens here. Though we do need more culture, so... Oh, and this is noble gardens. So this is the building you can build because you've built the noble quarter, right? Right, so that one in play. We have a noble quarter. Or is this capital? Don't think you can build noble gardens everywhere. But yeah, this causes a little bit of decadence. Granted, like the monument, which is like 10 to a quarter. This is 40 to a quarter because we have golden marble, right? So this is a definite, yeah, this is a good culture output. Yeah, I don't see a reason not to build this if we're trying to build up the ratio on the culture to decadence ratio, because that should raise it. School will definitely raise it, so we'll do the school. Do I need that much money? We're not. How much do the fortifications cost? 150 each. So we're spending about 300 in fortifications. Oh, and we're building a road down here. Let's get that road built before I forget. Regional roads, so 450. No, we'll keep the money as it is. We'll see how that works money-wise. Prospect for resources. We'll do Tiberius again. Yeah, okay. Let's cycle the turn, see where we are. To be fair, one of the things we'll be in is in state of war. As we declare on the Aduini, so we can go through their territory in a very aggressive, very militaristic manner. Okay, so we jumped 11 slots into the progressing tier. Good to see. Expansionism led Rome to invade and declare war on the Aduini. And of course, this is a harsh weather term where I cannot actually, move across the Alps. Okay, we got one pass in the Alps here. One Alpine province that is open. Alpine with blizzard, Alpine with blizzard, mountain with blizzard. Yeah, we got one Alpine that doesn't have a blizzard going on it. That's gonna let us through. Okay. The offensive is delayed due to serious weather. If we had weapons, this might be appropriate, but we don't need the loyalty right now. Interestingly enough, this gives you loyalty, which reduces revolt risk, but at the same time, if you have any revolt risks, it makes it worse. Pleases the population. The Savage Games organized here. It is known to have been a center of armed revolts, though. Somewhat costly to operate. Yeah, that's basically the description of why we're not building it. Harbor. This is going to cost a spot, but it's probably worth doing. Fielding large late-game armies tends to be more of a manpower bottleneck than a metal bottleneck, because you pay metal to build them, you don't pay it necessarily for replacements as much. Yeah, we'll do harbor here. Obviously, we don't need very much to build that. In fact, we just need to keep the infrastructure positive and no build. That means we have 35 to spare. 18 to spare. That's not the right province. I meant to click on that one. Okay, we do want it to stay positive, so one of these needs to be worker. There we go. Oh, I suppose this is not a good turn to be making food in that province, because if we make six infrastructure or 3 food. Okay, that's fine. Amphitheater. Bonus culture production. Yeah, it's costing cloth, but at some point that'll reward us by building cloth in the area. Or actually, no, we can build sewers. For the cost of lead, which is going to cost us like 10 money, we get to drop the slot usage of the sanitation department by 1. Worship place, loyalty bonus. We're going to care quite a bit about loyalty when we get into Tier 3 as Rome. Though we're obviously swinging quickly to technically having a victory here, so. Capital of the province has 7 building slots. We have the opportunity to build a precept hall house, so we will. A theater. Street parlor. Apparently we don't need the loyalty benefit right now. So I'll go with the training grounds so that we are in the state where we can upgrade the Roman camp to limes later on if we need to. Could get the stable master. Really, we probably want to put this, down in the southern province, not up here. So we're not going to build it here, even though it's a national wonder and it's rare to pop up to start with. I'm going to go Brickworks. Ooh, sawmill. The better cousin of the woodcutting camp. Could build a farm here. Loyalty is apparently a little bit of a problem. Well, actually, we have it under pacification for 4 turns. That's where the problem is coming from. Yeah, we'll build the farm here. Okay, and our offensive is a little bit delayed because of blizzards in the Alps. Those darn blizzards in the Alps. Oh, and you lost your general. Best we can get you is a 1-1. Generals are becoming a little bit lackluster. I brought back up the first part in the game. That, as you can see, average military expertise here is, I believe, the average of the military buildings in your country divided by the number of provinces. So our military is starting to get a little poor. Oh, plus the party we have in charge, our leader modifier, is also poor military. Good diplomat, poor military. So we may want to try to improve our military expertise at some point just by building a lot more military buildings. Monument to Glory, this nation has acquired a kind of momentum. The citizens are happy, the institution is sane, and the generals usually successful. Sounds about right. The shame about being average is we're not getting any leader quality. We got a big leader pool. We don't have a high quality military though, which is something we like to maybe fix. But looking at the time, this is where I should go ahead and put the part break in. And this is where I am going to go ahead and end the stream. So we're going to see how the invasion into the Aduini goes in the next part, in the next video. Right now, legacy-wise, we're up to 997. We're currently getting 7 from objectives, 8 from culture, 5 from wonders. How many of those are going to hang around because the abandoned palaces delete themselves over time? is up to RNG. The Royal Tombs, I think, hang around, but the Abandoned Palaces don't. Or actually, no, I think even the Xenophytes and the Royal Tombs get destroyed over time. Yeah, we're going to lose those over time. They're not the permanent wonders. Our objectives, we don't actually have the most objectives out of everyone. We're apparently 4th. We're 1st in monuments, but how long that lasts because those are all temporary monuments. We also have the most regions with more than 100 culture. Second is Seleucids with 6. Culture regions 8. Oh, we have a fraction bonus, so we're in the lead because we have a factional bonus. That gives us a bonus there. Decadence, a ratio of cultural value to decadence is 1.58. You can see there that our age is one of our major sources of decadence. Whereas nation size and structures and national modifiers aren't really that big. Or at least independently. Oh, and some of our changes are historical, because I think it's like half current average of historical, so we just did a big swing, so that value is going up real quickly. Which is one reason maybe not to do big swings. We're a glorious republic. We can either decline to an old republic or grow to a young empire. I think we're going to go try to get to a young empire soon. And either way, whether we decline to an old republic or rise to a young empire, does reduce our age by 50%, which is the thing causing most of our decadence here. That's like half the decadence. So half that. Either way. And ideally we want to progress and not decline. So with that, let's go ahead and save the game. This is stream save 1. Rome, in case we play a different nation in the future. So if you're watching YouTube, we'll probably get around to recording the next part by the time you are watching this. I'm playing a 5-game cycle on 5 days. At this point, if I do the editing right, we should have 6 parts out of this. So you can probably expect there to have already been a part recorded for you by tomorrow. Unless something comes up with the editing or recording. I have been having a little bit of a nasal phlegm problem this recording session. So hopefully that wasn't too much of a problem for people. And hopefully it doesn't get worse, because that would be one thing that could actually delay the recording. So next time, again, if you're watching on YouTube, there should be a part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, other games should be being streamed in future nights. This will be streamed again in 5 days. Tomorrow should be Europa Universalis 4. The day after that should be Factorio. The day after that should be The Long Dark. The day after that should be Back to Shadow Empires. And then after that should be this game again. So with that, I hope everyone has been enjoying. And until next time, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part. Bye for now.